It's Wednesday night. It's 8 o'clock. It's the TNG review show. Yay!
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
He got the right time. He got the right show. Oh my god. Tick, tick.
It's crazy. I hit all the right buttons in all the right order. I amaze myself. It's like I've done this before.
Once or twice.
Yeah.
Once or twice. So,
Got it
hey.
right once or twice.
Yeah, literally probably about twice.
Yes, we've only done about 40 of these, 50 of these now. So, I've got it right a couple of times. So, yes. Yes, Smiler says, and we can hear you. The audio's working.
Yes, after Friday's debacle, I made sure, Smiler, to say to Monty, are the mics all level properly? Have you got the right backdrop?
Oh,
Went through all the checks.
All the checks. It's all working, which is good. It's good. So we're coming across the internet at you for Wednesday, the 8 p.m. It is the TNG review show with myself, my co-host, Maz McBob. Good evening, Maz.
Hello.
As you take a sip of your drink there. And our on and off co-host, G-Star.
Oh,
He's back, baby.
I thought you were going to do the whole guest star thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're the guest star. So sorry. There we go. Got to demote you to the bottom. Yeah.
Whatever. That's it. I'm off.
His camera's broke now. Look, he's just. Oh, there we go.
Mickey says I'm looking fancier than usual.
Yeah.
I do the Deanna style updo every now and then, don't I?
The TNG review show ship's counselor.
I was saying that off air. I said, Maz, you look very Deanna Troy this evening.
Yeah, and I have when there was like a Deanna episode last season. I did the updo in honour of Deanna.
That looks very smart.
Thank you.
Very smart today. Yeah.
Fancy.
Yes. How have you been, G-Star? How have you been finding creating weekly content for the G-Star Vault?
Difficult.
It's not easy, is it? It's not
stressful.
easy.
It's become like a job.
Yeah.
Deadlines
Yes.
and everything. And yeah.
You got to plan your time and, plan your
Look,
content.
I keep saying this, but people, please send me stuff. Send me stuff to review. I can't. It's difficult to find good stuff anymore.
Yes. Well, it's very good. I've just seen your recent one. Very good content. Very good as normal. In our own backyard, no less. So,
yeah, right up there.
Keep it up. It's great. We love it. So good evening to chat. Hello, you lovely people. Don't forget to like the stream. Good evening to Mickey, who was an eager beaver this evening. He was on straight away. And Stu Plum, good evening to you, sir. My ever-suffering wrench, Myla Rainbow.
She says she's here to fend the evil people off ski this week.
Oh, yes. Off ski. Yes.
The
bots.
Yes, the bots. I was going to say, but I thought that would be a little bit stereotypical and precious.
Yes, the bots. Yes, post spamming their naughty links. Yes, we'll get rid of them. So this evening we are talking about Season 3's episode, The High Ground.
I have something ready for you.
Oh, okay.
Last week's score.
Oh,
for me.
We did mention that beforehand. And
Don't
I was
show
like,
me
yes.
your guys' scores because I didn't watch the end.
Right.
Well, why don't you
I'm
flash us your score now and then...
I'm just going to queue it up. Ready?
Okay.
I'm just queuing up.
I will flash my paddle right now. Here
You're
we go.
I don't know if our viewers are ready for this, but
flash
away.
Flash my paddle. And this is for The Hunted. Obviously, last week's.
Yes, that's right.
Ooh,
8.
a rarely
Wow.
high score from the G-Star.
Yeah, highest of us.
It's one of my faves. I love that episode.
Let me just show you what that's done to the week.
I know the storyline is pretty basic, the way that it's kind of pinched from like almost Die Hard or a lot of different films. That is, it's not a storyline that hasn't been done before, but it's nice to see like a leading guest star that doesn't overact the role for once and just really sort of seem to fit in that pocket of being really believable. So, and just some of the actual, the way it's kind of like, oh, he's outwitting Data, and then Picard sort of gets a bee in his bonnet about the whole thing, and yeah, I just thought it was very interesting. So a fave of mine, always has been.
Cool. Yep. Well, it's 6 from Maz, 7 from me, and 8 from yourself. Normally it's the other way around. But,
fifth-ish then, joint fifth.
It is 5th. Yeah, it is 5th behind the Defector, Who Watches the Watchers, The Enemy, and Booby Trap.
They're all good episodes.
Yep. So there we go. That's 5th, and before I forget. Once again,
we're ginning, right? This is
our
East London brighter gin with hints of Darjeeling tea and cassia bark, grapefruit, coriander, angelica root, among other things. Excitement.
I'm just getting the pictures ready because I know else I'll forget. Sorry, I haven't poured my gin yet. East London brighter gin.
Well, as you guys are pouring your gin, and before we get started, I'll just mention...
Question time. Oh, no.
Well, no, I was actually just going to do a little bit of spiel to say what a fantastic job you guys have been doing with the show. And, I think it's been really entertaining when I've been able to drop in and watch. And, yeah, I just wanted to say well done, because definitely growing the audience.
Thank you very much.
You, G.
And... Karen's on now as well, so I would just like to say nook neck to everybody.
Nook neck,
everyone. Lovely to see you all.
Nook neck.
Very cool. Nook neck. Yes. Hello in Klingon.
And on the subject of question time, yes, there's going to be 10 massive questions this evening.
I'm sorry, Mickey. It's G-Star doing the questions today.
And it's going to be tough because, just to give you a quick explanation, I've changed the way in which the game is played. You still have your Anson Question, which you start off with. You still get your TNG points, but then there's Demotion Questions. So if you get them wrong, you get demoted.
And you lose points though.
As well. You lose points as well. And then there's also promotional booster questions. And there's also point booster questions. So you can boost, you don't get any points, but you boost a promotion ahead if you're the one person to get it right. Also, there's a last question, or some of the questions will be, certainly the last one will be that everybody will only be able to give one guess, and that's it. If you don't get it right the first guess round, then that's it. That's your lot.
Coincidentally, just today I watched that Friends episode where they have to do this game show called Bamboozled, and it's got such complicated rules that they end up not actually doing the game show. And they have to pick Wicked Wango cards and all kinds of crazy things. That sounds a little. You're kind of gonna bamboozle us, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna bamboozle, but I'll guide you as you go along. The main thing is that on this way round, the winner is the person who finishes with the highest points, not necessarily the highest rank.
Okay.
Because the points are all over the place as well. So,
Stuplum wants to know: do you get demoted if you just don't answer, as opposed to answer wrongly?
No, you still get demoted, and you've only got 5 minutes to get your answers in. After 5 minutes, I reveal the answer. And if you haven't put something in chat in 5 minutes, you're out of the game.
Kaz, cross your legs. Don't go to the lift.
Crumbs.
Don't take the dogs out
Crikey.
for a walk.
It's like an exam.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Eyes down. Let's go.
Eyes down.
Minus 500 points then.
Right. I hope you're all strapped in then. This
Mickey
could be a long one.
has studied up this week, so hopefully he'll be getting himself on the scoreboard this week. We'll see.
I have seen he was studying the episode earlier. So,
Karen says nookie to us too, which I thought was quite funny.
If you put so much Stuplums.
Mickey's loving what you're saying. Says it'll boost the excitement. Karen says I think she's had about enough of questions for tonight. And and then Stu Plum's like, WTF?
Smiler's really looking forward to it all.
Have you actually sent them to Smiler?
Nope.
Oh, sorry, Smiler.
Sorry, darling.
Good luck.
Some of the questions are really, really short, though. Really short.
Okay, cool. Then. We better get on with it then if we've got so much to cram in.
We better get on, I tell you. We better get on.
It's a good job I haven't got much trivia or goofs, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so yes, we are talking about The High Ground. Season 3 episode, production number 40273-160. It first aired on the 29th of January 1990. It's the 59th of 176 episodes to be produced and released. And the synopsis goes: Dr. Crusher is captured by terrorists who want to involve the Federation in their struggle for freedom. It was written by Melinda M. Snodgrass, and it's her second writing for The Next Generation. She first wrote the script to The Measure of a Man, which was quite a good episode. It was directed by Gabriella Beaumont, who also directed episodes for MASH, Dukes of Hazzard, Miami Vice, amongst a number of others. And she also had a hand in casting her husband, Olaf Pooley, in Voyager's episode Blink of an Eye.
And this was the first Star Trek episode of the franchise to be both written and directed by women.
It's good, isn't it? It's good to see.
Yeah.
Such a sensitive subject as well.
Yeah.
That didn't get to air on terrestrial TV in Europe.
Well, certainly not in the UK and Ireland.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to say UK and Ireland. I just thought I'd throw it in to say Europe.
Yeah. We'll probably talk a little bit on that later on.
Yeah.
So, straight into it. Teaser. The Enterprise arrived at Rutia 4, a non-aligned planet to deliver medical supplies following an outbreak of violent protests. The attacks were conducted by Ansata separatists, who are demanding autonomy for their homeland. Worf and Crusher on the surface having lunch at some sort of plaza in the main city when Data arrives to bring the Doctor to her next meeting. As he does so, a bomb goes off, shocking everyone in the plaza. Kaboom, rocks fly everywhere. Beverly rushes in to help against objections of Worf and Data. She orders Worf to fetch some bandages, and when he's about to protest, she tells him it is an order. Once again, Worf and Crusher kind of at loggerheads. Even one of the local security advised her that she should listen to the Klingon because there could be other bombs and that about. And then some random guy waiter brings her the Star Trek bottle of water. I say Star Trek bottle of water because it's the bottle we've seen loads of times. I don't know if you noticed. Did you notice the bottle of water?
No.
Right. First image thing of the day then of prop gate. I've got to show you. Only because I love this bottle and it comes up time and time again. This is the bottle in question.
Oh, yeah. That's the same thing that Waxana's butler guy sort of drank out of.
Correctamundo.
Oh, so it's got like the inner and the outer shell, so it's like actually a trick one, right?
Yeah, this was McCoy brought Kirk it with Romulan ale in it for his birthday to celebrate. Yeah, this was back in Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan. And as you say, oh no, that was the wrong one. As you say, yes, it was used in Menage a Troy, was it, or whatever it was, with Luxana Troy and her butler. But it's been used a whole number of times. Also, likewise, this prop was in the plaza as well. This cone with a ball on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually from a season, from another episode, Samaritan Snare. This is Imaginary Friend.
Oh, yeah.
This is where they very later on in the season when they all, that's Picard, when they all turn into children. There's that bottle again in season 2 with Pulaski.
That wasn't the tea ceremony, was it?
It might have been.
Must have been
Even
No, that took place in Medbay.
Even now in Picard,
Oh yeah.
it's still around even today. The Star Trek bottle. There we go.
Interesting. Proptastic.
Proptastic, yeah. Gotta find, where was I? Right, you probably want the first actual picture. There we go.
And you probably also you've gone back off it now, but you probably also have some comparisons around that whole sort of plaza area, don't you? And what that's a redress of.
It's a redress of a number of. You want me to go back?
It's a car. Well, yeah, I read that it was a significant redress of the cargo bay.
No, was it?
That's what it says in the notes I have.
Oh, hang on. Let's have a look.
Oh, Shuttle Bay. The scenes at the Rutium Plaza were filmed on Paramount Stage 9 using the extensively redressed Shuttle Bay set.
Well, I don't know. I mean, here it was in Samaritan Snare, and maybe it was.
Don't know.
But yeah, no, they didn't really say anything about that.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
I mean,
I believe you.
is just like a big old room, isn't it, really?
I mean, it's a big room, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
you can sort of imagine, like, the little gantries at the top you normally have in the
it does
Shuttle Bay.
have, it does have a gantry up there, doesn't it? Yeah.
And then, and like the door, even the door over there, like, if you just imagine the door's doing that. Get rid of all the plants.
It has got, like, that shape, because it's a bit like the door to the holodeck, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yes, I can possibly see it.
I can't believe I actually told you something you didn't know.
Didn't know that. No, there you go. Yeah, cool.
Trivia-tastic.
I've got to get back to my picture now.
She's just waiting for it to be question-tastic.
I know.
Oh, it will be. On. Don't worry.
I want a question. Everybody's like, I want a question. Anyway, so Data calls to the bridge to advise him of the situation. Picard calls Beverly and is about to order her to return to the Enterprise, but she tells him she's trying to return the life to a patient using sleight of hand. And Data and Worf can beam back if they want to. But she then ends the call. Picard mulls over just transporting them back forcefully. But Riker's like, I don't want to be in the transporter room to meet her. And so Picard holds off. They both basically are too scared of Beverly Crusher to beam her back. Then some guy appears amid some lightning. And I say he lightning himself into existence. They grab Beverly and lightning back out again, shocking Data and Worf. And that's the end of the teaser.
So one of the things here that somebody observed was about Bev ordering Worf, and she's not in his direct chain of command, and if the captain said that you're supposed to protect the away team, she wouldn't be able to override that order by saying do what I say and not what they say, kind of thing. But I'm not sure that flies, because like when you're on the ground with a superior officer, you don't just, I mean, for example, if a lieutenant tells somebody in the army to go and patrol, and then somebody else comes along and says, can you do something? They're not going to just say no. Like you would do what your superior officer in front of you is asking you to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't think it flies that Worf wouldn't have taken her order because he was already ordered to protect them. I think you would do what your superior officer in front of you is telling you to do.
I think you would. And plus, Beverly's the only person that can order Picard what to do. So,
That's true, but then I think
Technically.
that's only that's only if there's like a medical reason to do so.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I thought it was funny how like Riker had an opportunity to say, "You're the captain." Like if you tell her to leave, like but instead he was like, "I wouldn't want to cross."
No.
Like encouraging
You're on
him
your own.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny, like how he would probably be sort of saying, "No, stand up for yourself," but instead he was like, "No, I wouldn't."
No. Have we got a question time then, G, at the end of the teaser?
Yes. We've got a question that's 100% related to the teaser. So this is the Anson question worth 25 TNG points. So we start as pretty standard. How many Rutians are caught in the initial explosion of the bomb? How many Rutians are caught in the initial explosion of the bomb? A, 2, B, 3, C, 4, D, 5, E, only Anasatians are caught in the explosion. So I'll go through that again. How many Rutians? How many Rutians are caught in the initial explosion of the bomb? A, 2.
Smiler said earlier, so some of them are sure. I'm guessing this isn't one of them, right? Anyway.
A, 2, B, 3, C, 4, D, 5, or E, only Ansatians are caught in the explosion.
She did real well, though, to capture it. A2, B3, C4, D5.
Didn't quite get the names of the people right, but the intent's there.
So if people either don't answer this one or get this one wrong, do they go into negative points, or do you just lose points back to 0?
No, you just don't go anywhere because this is the first question.
I was going to say it would seem harsh to lose points when you don't.
I could end up with negative.
This isn't a demotion question anyway. This is just a normal Anson question.
Oh right, okay. It's only specific ones, is it?
Right.
I see.
Okay. Whilst we're getting the answers in, I will carry on with Act 1. So we're in the observation lounge, and Data reports that he can find no trace of residual ionization at the abduction site. So apparently, when you beam someone out using conventional beaming methods, it leaves a residual ionization trace. And there's no signal from her communicator, so it's either being shielded or has been deactivated. Picard wonders why are Bev and Worf... Picard wonders why our Bev has been abducted. And Worf confirms that he believes that she was the intended target. Riker says their fight doesn't even involve us, to which Worf replies, "It does now." On the planet, at a secret location underground, Beverly Crusher is questioning her life choices. She's bound and sitting on a bed. When a chap enters and offers her some food, she remains silent. And he tells her that she is a Federation doctor, and his name is Kirill Finn. He also tells her if she needs anything, just ask for Finn. They all know who he is. Picard explains to Wes in his ready room that he is sure they won't hurt Beverly, as she will be used as a bargaining chip. Wes wants to join the away team to search for her, but Picard wants him to work on an explanation for the lightning transporter thing and counter the device's use. Wes leaves the room, leaving Troy and Picard alone, and Troy advises him that Wes will need his strength, but Picard replies that history has shown that strength can be useless in the face of terrorism. Probably need to move the thing on. There she is, sat on the bed, questioning her life choices.
She didn't want to talk to him.
She don't want to talk to him at all. No. Right, have we got some answers?
Yeah, we got all the answers in. I'm just waiting for your guys' answer.
Okay, so what was it? It was...
What we have to answer. It's mandatory.
Yeah. Got to answer. Well, I'm just A, B. I'm going to go C4.
New talk show, Bev on a bed. I love it, Mickey. I will just go for D, just to be different.
Okay, well, I can celebrate for getting an ensign promotion and 25 TNG points with Mickey, Stu Plum, and Karen all get promotions because the answer was B3.
I think this is going to be a bad night for me and TNG points.
And whilst you're all celebrating your promotion to the rank of ensign, I'm going to go straight in with the first demotion question. So
no.
you guys can hold on to that.
I haven't got any points.
On this question, you don't lose points. You just demote it from any rank.
From no rank to no rank.
So something bad has happened, and people are up for investigation, and we've got to find out who is to blame. So let's see who can. So if you get the answer wrong, that's where you get the demotion. You save yourself and your rank if you get the answer right. Here's the question: the Ansata terrorists are trying to free themselves from which continent? The Ansata terrorists are trying to free themselves from which continent? A, northern, B, eastern, C, southern, or D, western? For Smiler's sake, that's A, northern, B, eastern, C, southern, D, western. If in doubt, just think never eat shredded wheat.
Never eat soggy waffles. Not quite sure where the... Oh, I see. That's the ones after Mickey's comment.
Boom! Well done, Smiler.
Yeah, wow. Got right in there. Baboom.
Boom.
Yeah.
Big bada boom.
Big bada boom. Boom. Big bada boom.
Points for anyone who knows what that's from.
Yeah. What are we referencing?
Big boom. Big bada boom.
Stu Plum's D was for that last question there, wasn't it?
Multipass.
Yes.
Eh?
That was for this question.
Yeah.
Yes. That was for this question. Everything after Mickey's new talk show idea, I think, is
So I've got
this
Bev on a
question.
bed.
I've got everybody's answers in then, except for yours, Monty. So
Me?
And Karen also got the references right. Fifth Element. Well done, Karen.
Well done. Yes, very good. Very good. I think it's Western D.
okay. So unfortunately, nobody got it right.
I'm pretty sure that was right. Wasn't that right?
Eastern. They're trying to free themselves from the eastern continent.
Oh, they're from the Western continent.
Yeah.
And they're trying
I
to
don't
free
know that.
themselves from the Eastern continent. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the correct answer was B. So unfortunately, nobody got it right.
Oh. There you go.
So everybody gets demoted. They hold on to their points, but everybody's back to being not an ensign, just a crew member.
And those of us that were already crew members, we get to be demoted from being human, and we are now scutters.
Yes.
Another reference. Points? Anybody get that reference?
Although scutters are even above the people that clean the soup dispensers.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, right. Picard and Riker beam down to the planet and meet with Devos, the head of security. She tells them that this is unusual as they don't usually take hostages. She gives them a device that they took off a dead terrorist. She says their own scientists can't make heads or tails of it, but Riker offers to take it to the Enterprise techies to take a look at it. Devos tries the old, if we only had some of that sweet, sweet Starfleet weaponry. None of this would be possible. But Picard's like, of course you know we can't do that. That's out of the question. But on the upside, he does offer up Riker to help with the search. And Davos is like, great. That's fab. Back in the cave, and saying, Smiler Rainbow's like, I am a fish.
Yeah, and not only the Rutians, but the Russians are back. Mickey says even in Mr. Putin.
Oh, dear.
Funny.
Oh, it's good to see him, though. It's good, isn't it? It's good to see our international friends. There you go, Smiler. I think this is your first
Yay!
duty as wrench, to do your wrench thing.
She's deleted it. Well done.
I was trying to, but it polluted my iPad.
Oh
dear! You didn't click on the stuff, did you?
You didn't click on the link. Okay. Yes, back in the cave, Finn is still trying to get Bev to eat, but she's ignoring him. So he touches her ankles, and it makes Bev jump. She thinks he's about to try something.
It's a bit 50 Shades of Grey, isn't it?
It is a bit, isn't it? But all he's doing is trying to undo her restraints. She breaks her silence to ask why she's being brought here. And it turns out Finn needs a doctor. Doctor Who? I mean, who better?
Another reference.
Who better than a Federation flagship doctor? Finn's annoyed that the feds have supplied medical supplies to those on the surface.
The feds.
Yeah, the feds. The feds. And why they've taken sides in this way. But Beverly explains that the people were hurt, so they helped them. And Finn's like, I know, I hurt them. He tells her to get up and pulls her up. She says, I've got a son. And Finn tells her that she will see him again, as he has no reason to kill her. And that's the end of Act 1.
Intense.
Boom. Any more
Question time.
Hey.
So now we have our very first promotional booster question, right? So what the promotional booster question does is it boosts you 2 ranks up from your current station. Okay?
2 ranks?
2 ranks up. So if you
I'm going on the fast track, baby.
Yeah, we're all on rank 0.
This is a real promotional booster. So, but as everybody lost their rank, yes, Maz is right. Everybody is currently unranked. So it means that everybody will jump to commander rank. But there are no points involved in this question. It's just all for that status and that ranking. And here is the question. What's the difference between Wesley's comm badge and the rest of the bridge crew's comm badge? No multiple choice.
I know.
Just get your answer in chat. What's the difference between Wesley's comm badge and the rest of the bridge crew?
I know the answer to that. And it's not even for any points.
No, but you'll become a commander.
Oh, yay.
I'm not sure. I feel like we covered this at some point and I've completely forgotten.
We did.
But
When he got this new
guess.
uniform. We did point it out. Yes.
Oh, Karen says Wesley can't talk to the bridge, which reminds me, bridge. You noticed a decor change, I presume, Monty?
Yes, I did.
G-Star.
Yeah.
Go on then, enlighten us.
It was the carpet.
Yes.
Yes.
It was the blue. Is it like a dark blue carpet that's then used until the end, I think?
Yeah.
Monty looks nonplussed.
I didn't notice.
There you go.
They had to upgrade after all the stains from previous battles.
Well, there you
What,
go.
in this episode, they changed the carpet on the bridge?
Apparently so. This episode marks the first appearance of the darker blue carpeting seen on the main bridge until the end of the show.
I did not know that. I did not spot that.
You don't believe it, do you?
No.
He's going to do a Victor Mildrew.
I did believe it. Chewie, down.
Mickey says Wesley's badge is upside down.
Yes, like the Antichrist.
Smiler says, does Wesley's badge have training wheels? Stupum says he's got it on the wrong side. Andrew's here. Hi, Andrew. We are doing good, thank you. The question at hand is, what is different about Wesley's badge than other people's badges? Had quite a few interesting pictures into that one.
I'll give you a clue. It's not upside down.
Of course it's not upside down. I think that was a joke. Anyway.
No. Anyway. Should we have the answer?
Yeah.
It's silver.
Yes.
Oh, is it really?
It's missing the gold backdrop. It's all silver.
It's all silver to go with his fully grey bodysuit. So
yeah,
that means, unfortunately, I think the only people to get that one right was Mazza and Monty.
And we get big fat 0 points for it. That's
really, you're now
that's a smack in the chops, isn't it?
Commander Monty and Commander Maz.
Not bad.
Whereas everybody else is just them.
I'll take the upgrade in rank. That's Finn still trying to bring Bev some food just before he decides to touch her ankles. There we go. So we'll get to there. Okay, so carrying on with Act 2. Finn shows Crusher to the medical room where there are a number of weak, suffering patients. She scans them and says they need supplies from her ship. Finn says, "Oh, and if you ask, your captain's just going to beam them down, will he?" And Bev's like, "Yeah, that's exactly the way it works. We don't take sides, we're just on an errand of mercy." But Finn ain't having it. And he gives her Federation supplies that are supposed to be delivered to the Rutian medical dispensary. Meanwhile, in Devos's office, as we see here, Riker is questioning whether all the people on the list that she's provided are all members of the Ansata terrorist group. But Devos is not really, no. The organisation only consists of about 200 members, but there are around 5,000 sympathisers who supply weapons, information, and take part in strikes and demonstrations. Riker asks how all this started, and she tells him that the government denied them independence 70 years ago, which gave them the cause they needed for armed conflict. She says now it's just an excuse for more violence. Riker picks up that Devos hates them as much as they hate her, but Devos says the body count and the attempts on her life have changed their view. The clincher...
Go on, do the clincher. I can't wait for the clincher. Do the clincher.
The clincher was an attack on a school bus that claimed the life of 60 children. You asked for it.
I did.
He looks sad now. He is sad.
I did.
Ask the question in like 20 minutes' time. Everyone will have forgotten.
The assassin claims that it was a mistake and the intended target was police transport, as if that made it all right. That day she vowed to put an end to the terrorism. Back underground, the doc is treating the patients. It turns out they are dying due to warped DNA. There's nothing she can do. The damage is too extensive. If she had caught it earlier, then maybe she could have done something. It turns out that the magic transporter they have is an dimensional shift transporter. Turns out that Finn is displaying the same signs as the others. Bev tells him it's killing them all. But Finn is like, better to be a dead martyr. A dead martyr's worth 10 posturing leaders. Do you want to ask a question? Or,
yes. I mean, I've had to just throw one in the bin. But
it's okay. You have many spares.
Yes, I'm improvising.
You do have spare.
I can improvise. I can take it on the fly. Right. So this is a point booster question. So you don't increase in rank on this question, but you can get a massive 100 TNG points.
Ooh.
And because it's 100 TNG points, no multiple choice, but you'll understand why there is no need for multiple choice in the essence of this question. Here goes. Are we ready? Yeah. When Dr. Crusher uses a tricorder, what hand does she hold it in?
So 50-50 chance.
Mm-hmm.
Is it in general or in a specific scene?
In general. When Dr. Crusher uses a tricorder, what hand does she hold it in?
I'm going to say it's gotta be.
Put it in chat.
Oh, have I got to put it in chat? All right.
Dirty little main host.
There you go. Put it in chat.
It's a guess, but it's a 50-50
Oh, I think
guess.
we've all gone with the same. Apart from Stu Plum.
Yeah. I was
and
just
Smiler
going to
Rainbow.
say then, a load of lemons going off the cliff together.
Well, Smiler Rainbow's saying, is she a lefty?
She's just saying the question.
Oh, that's the question. Is she lefty? Is she righty? She might be an
Does she
ambi.
have another? Maybe she's an alien with a third hand. Like Spock in his left ear and his right ear and his final frontier.
Oh, dear. You see that blue uniform there? That's seen again.
Yes.
Do we know where?
No.
Yes. Yes. That there uniform.
Apparently it's used when...
it's
Go on.
It's used in Voyager.
It is, yes. In the episode Random Thoughts, where B'Elanna Torres, she has like because she's a Klingon, she has like a violent flash of thoughts, and they're like a telepathic community, and they like lock her up for it because in their community you're not allowed to have angry, violent thoughts. Oh, there we go.
I had that one ready.
It's a bit different as like a different badge and stuff like that. But it's essentially a modification of the same outfit.
Yeah, that badge she wears though has been used in a whole bunch of things as well.
Why not reinvent rather than making from scratch? And the other thing was, I don't know if you've got any pictures of this, but on the monitors in the background of her office there were like these little, what looked like quite old-fashioned TV screens with images popping up.
Yep.
And quite a few of them were sort of modified images of cities from around the world. Apparently one of them, I think I just sort of saw it, but as I was looking at the screen, it just kind of flicked off, but was like the Twin Towers or something. But yeah, there's like a few images that pop up on the screen, which are apparently places on Earth.
Just so you know what we're talking about. Well, I think
you could see them in that last picture that you had up, actually.
I'm just going to go back to there. This is the
those screens there. They were sort of just sort of flicking and changing, and And
unusually, it's the only sense that we get of what this planet looks like, because we don't see any. Yeah, we see inside the plaza, but usually they have a map painting, which like gives you the, when you go down to the planet, you have a little scene setting thing of looking at the map painting to say we're in this town. But yeah, we don't have any of that in this episode. So the only sense we get of the planet is from that monitor there. Or is it San Francisco in that triangular shaped?
Yeah, there was a triangular shaped one. I wasn't quite sure. It looked familiar, but I couldn't place where that was from. But
San Francisco's
there's a few images.
Got a
it does
one,
it's like it flicks from one image to another.
In a remastered version, didn't they change the images on the screens?
They do in like some of the episodes. Definitely, we have one where they'd put like the Burj Al Arab into like a sort of an alien cityscape and stuff like that. So they have put like really modern buildings into some of them, but I don't think they did that in this case on these screens. No. It looked pretty crappy, like old CRT screens.
But you were just talking about the fact that there's the Trade Center, the Twin Towers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old one.
Yeah. The original ones. Yeah. Because I mean, like, obviously, this was back in the 80s and 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Answer to the question time, G.
Okay. So instead of the answer, I'll just go through the scores. So we have Stu Plum on 25 TNG points. We have Commander Monty on 100 TNG points. Commander Maz on 100 TNG points. Mickey early on 125 points, and Karen on 125 points.
Whoop whoop.
But with no rank. They just got the points.
Yes,
the
my
correct answer
thinking,
was left.
hand. And do you know why I thought that? Because I thought I can see her in my head holding it and then doing that thing, with the little device.
Her little lipstick thing.
Yeah. So she does that with her right hand and holds the tricorder with her left hand.
Correct,
that was
Amanda.
my thinking also. Yes.
Yeah. Mickey says points don't make prizes.
No.
You want prizes now. You're very
He
demanding.
wants prizes now. I know. We don't have the budget in the vault for that. We can barely keep the vault open.
Let's get TNG baseball hats.
Yeah, you can do that.
Or t-shirts with I got the points on the back. I got the TNG points. I got demoted.
Merch. That's what we need. Merch.
Yeah.
The only prize you need is being able to watch this lovely show every week that we put on for you free of charge.
Right. Shall I get on with it then?
Enough.
Back underground. Where was I? Oh, in engineering. That was it. Engineering. Data and Wes are investigating the transporter device. LaForge calls them over and is surprised that the routines picked up a faint nuclear vibration from the terrorists' movements. There was a conversation that sparks Wesley's mind, and he asks the computer to bring up files on the Elway's theorem. It turns out that the vibrations match the theorem, showing that they're using interdimensional travel. Data says, but the theorem was dropped in the mid-23rd century as it proved to be fatal, so this would be an irrational act. Picard pops up behind them and comments that they are dealing with irrational people. The team think they can now trace it if they use it again. Picard comments that they now know why they need the services of a doctor. On the planet, the suspects are being rounded up and led away. Riker wonders how the society can live like this. And Davos says it was worse under a predecessor. People would just disappear. They're even detaining a small boy. And Riker's like, how can he possibly be a threat? But Davos explained that a terrorist who carried the bomb onto the school bus was a teenager. Back underground.
That kind of just pokes holes in her whole theory of, well, not her theory, but the terrorists saying, oh, we meant it for it to be a police thing. It's like if you've got a teenager setting a bomb on a school bus with 60 kids on, it's like, how is that aimed at the police? It's a bit stupid. Anyway.
It's not, no, because, the kid knows it's getting onto a school bus.
Well, exactly. Like that. Yeah, that cannot have been an accident, right?
Yeah. Back underground, Bev is still treating people whilst Finn is drawing pictures of her hands. See right there?
I don't know.
He's having some sort of fit.
Question time.
Oh, he didn't want to interrupt you.
Crumbs.
He knows that makes you mad.
All right, yeah. It does.
Yeah, okay. So, just to celebrate that fact, here's the next demotional question. And they get worse as they go on, because this one not only demotes you one rank, but also can lose you 25 TNG points if you don't get it right.
Do you remember the time? Do you remember the time when we were missing G from this program?
I remember the time you were just giving away like 13,000 points.
Anyway, here comes the
Those
question.
were the days.
Are you ready, Smiler? So the question is, what year did this episode air on terrestrial TV, as in on BBC Two? What year did this air for the first ever time?
You want us to get this right, or you're demoting us?
Yeah.
People would have only got it right if they've actually researched into the trivia, which obviously I have. But
I can give multiple choice.
I got no clue. I'll guess.
You'd have to give multiple choice for that. It wasn't even in the episode.
A.
Look at that.
1993. B. 2001. C. 1998. Or D. 2007.
No, I didn't say it at the start. It was a bit of a guess.
Yeah, I think it was when you did the little reel at the start. It was when it was first aired, but that was in the US.
1990.
And even then, in the UK, it was aired on Sky a couple of years after it was originally supposed to be aired and banned. But then it wasn't aired on the BBC for like a while after.
I think it was 2000 something. I guessed it 2007. I was I was a lot better seeing that Stu Plum put exactly the same date at the same time. So,
well, he put that date, and then it was one of the options that G gave.
But did G just say that because we put it down? Yeah, I think that might be the case. Okay, so whilst you're getting those in. We're just going to go to...
How's your gin coming along? I'm not ready for the next one
I've nearly finished, yes. What were we just talking about? Oh, yeah, she was drawing pictures. He was drawing pictures of her hands. That was it. Yeah. Crusher thinks Finn should be an artist rather than a killer. And Finn's like, why can't I be both? Crusher is perplexed at his casual attitude to murder, but he replies, I take my killing very seriously. He goes on to comparing himself to George Washington as he's in a fight of War of Independence. Beverly tries to say that Washington was a general and he's a terrorist, but Finn counters that that's only because he won. So, if you win, you write the history books as being a general, but if your person you're up against wins, then you're going to be labelled a terrorist. That was his argument.
It's not strictly true if you're already in the military to start with, is it? But, I see what he's saying, that history is written by the victors for sure. So
yes.
You can paint the other people in a bad light. She
tries to counter, but you're killing innocent lives. But Finn reboots by asking how many innocent lives have been lost in the cause of peace for the Federation. How many cities and how many planets have been crushed? And now the Doctor, who's now living this perfect life on the outcome of these battles, dare judge his immorality? He wasn't very happy with her at that point. He's willing to die and kill for his cause. And that was the end of Act 2. Geez, Act 2?
What?
Oh my God.
We went through one and like the first one in 5 minutes, didn't we?
Yeah, that was a bit of a...
Yeah. Okay, so anyway. The answers are in. Everybody's got the same answer. Everybody said D. Everybody said 2007. Everybody would be right. And just that Maz was almost right in what she was saying about it did air on Sky 1 before it aired on the BBC, but it only aired on Sky in 2006. And then on September 29th, 2007 on the BBC. So it stayed out of sort of being broadcast in the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland for a good number of years until it was actually played. I have just put in chat bonus points because this question was just a demotion question. There wasn't any points to be won, but I'll give out a bonus 25 points to anybody who got that answer in chat correct. So give you a couple more minutes to answer that one. Yes, so let's talk points then. So that means that nobody moves. Nobody got demoted and nobody lost any points. So everybody is where they were at before.
Cool.
The next question is going to be a promotional boost, moving you up 2 ranks. So it means that Monty and Maz might become admirals.
Still no more points though.
No points. No.
Oh no, the promotional boost this time also comes with 100 TNG points.
Oh right, okay.
Because the bad get worse and the good get better.
Get better, righto. What was I going to say? Don't know, forgotten. So I'm going to carry on with Act 3.
Yeah, I don't have any trivs bits for the rest of that. So
I probably need to move the picture on.
You can continue.
There we go. There's the doc.
Does that show her holding the...
No. Okay. So, Act 3. Devos and Riker are interrogating suspects, not getting anywhere. Devos offers to be more persuasive, but Riker declines the offer. They finally get around to interrogating the waiter that passed the bottle of water to Crusher. He's called Katik Shaw. He is uncooperative, so Riker's had enough and tells him to take back a message that the Federation are willing to discuss terms for Crusher's release. Devos protests, but Riker points out that it's his officer and it's Starfleet's responsibility. Riker tells them to release the waiter so he can go and deliver his message. Devos says she could have him followed, but eventually says she will do it Riker's way. Back on the bridge.
I did it Riker's
yeah.
way.
Hang on a minute. Chewie, down.
Ooh,
Bear with me a sec.
what's he doing? What is he doing?
What does T stand for on the chair? Tickhead?
It's I don't know. It's like Secret Labs or something, but I don't know what it is.
Is it titanium?
I see the delay.
Hey?
What's he doing?
I don't know, whatever that plate was. I put it in the middle of the table. It's now got no contents on it.
Ooh, he's eating something he shouldn't have. Might have little poopsie tummy later.
Oh dear.
What's you trying to find a place?
What's the T stand for? The what?
On your chair.
Oh, it's a
I think
Titan.
it's a Secret Labs chair, isn't it? So I wasn't sure
Secret
what
Labs.
he was.
Yeah, it's a Secret Labs Titan.
Titanium. I said titanium.
Can I pour my next drink now, Monty?
Yes, go for it.
Why
Go for
are you
This
guys
is
doing
East
that?
London Lauder gin. Carry on, sorry.
Oh, Mickey said it's Titan. Look, he knows. He knows what it's all about.
Yeah, he does. He's got like one really similar.
I think he's got the same sort of chair. He's got a Secret Labs Titan as well. It's the best. It's the best office gaming chair you can get. I humbly say. I'm actually going to be doing my next video based on it because I've had some comments recently on the chair unboxing video, asking me what it's like nearly a year on, whether I'm still enjoying it, whether it's got any wear and tear. So I'm going to have a little look back at my Titan chair and how it's been over the past year. Anyway, that's coming to the Monty Band channel.
Titan chair, the next generation. No.
It is, yeah.
Sorry. G was trying to sort of actually talk while we were pouring drinks and things, and we've not let him get a word in edgeway.
Yeah,
Well, it's our way.
I was going to drop in another question, which was going to be the promotional boost question.
Go right ahead.
2 ranks, you increase by here. So for any of the guys that are currently not on any rank, you'll get to Commander straight away. And Maz and Monty might push up to Admiral level. I don't know what comes after that, Admiral, President. And you also get 100 TNG points, so a lot to play for in this one. So listen up carefully, heads down. According to Finn, a dead martyr is worth how many posturing leaders? A handful, B, 100, C, a trio, or D, 10. According to Finn, a dead martyr is worth how many posturing leaders? A handful, B, 100, C, a trio, or D, 10.
I said it a moment ago, so if you were listening...
I also know.
I think we all know.
I just want to say that these ones, you see, we've got the brighter gin and the louder gin. I really like the fact that, you think of gin in terms of flavour. But brighter, that's like what you see. And then louder, that's what you hear. It's like they're naming it after your other senses. And this one is 47%, so strong. And has as additional sort of flavour elements, lavender, bay leaf, sage, and thyme. So it should be quite herby.
It's a herby one. It is a herby one.
Is it Herbie Goes Bananas?
Yeah, it's very nice.
Good.
It's a herby gin. Oh, I think...
Do you want to continue on the narrative?
Hopefully we got it right because we've all answered the same. Okay. Yeah, I'll carry on with the narrative. Back on the bridge. Back on the bridge. Data is telling Picard Harry will be tracking their movements. Data is confused as to why, after studying it, he has found that terrorism is actually an effective method of enacting political change. Surprise, surprise. Like, for example, the independence of Mexico from Spain, the reunification of Ireland in 2024. It's only a few years away now, a couple of years away. And the Kenzie Rebellion. And it was that statement there, the reunification of Ireland, is what got it banned in the UK and Ireland back in 1990 for the BBC till 2007, and for, Mickey can tell me, is it RTL or RTE? The Irish version of the BBC. It's still banned to this day. This episode of TNG.
To get, Mickey's take. I can't remember if you were on, Mickey, and I know that this is like a really, sort of terrorism is a really serious topic, but I must admit, I thought Up the Long Ladder was like way more offensive to Irish people than that one sentence that Data said. But that never got banned. But it'd be interesting to get your take.
Yeah, RTE. Thanks, Mickey. Yeah, RTE.
Oh, he says the governments are chatting about unification this year. Well, there you go. Maybe it will be yet another one of the Star Trek predictions that come true.
Predicting the future, maybe, possibly. Maybe then this episode will finally be unbanned.
Yeah, maybe.
But
maybe somebody who is driving those conversations is a big Trekkie.
But I remember when I first got this episode on VHS back in around 93, 94, sometime around then, and finally could watch. Never seen it before. We were finally watching the episode that was banned.
Yeah, but you used to go to Kathy's Comics, didn't you? And you got these tapes just after they had literally been released to buy. So it was before they were seen on telly in the UK anyway. So we were always ahead of the curve. Like, we didn't wait for it to come out on terrestrial. We just waited for every month for, you to get paid, and then you'd go and buy them for us, and we'd all sit around and watch them. I remember me, G, and Stu Plum. It was just a thing we did.
Yeah, that's true. But actually, they weren't released on VHS until sometime after. They didn't start releasing them until sometime after they'd already started being on terrestrial television.
Right.
So
I'm sure that by the time we were sort of watching DS9 and Voyager, we were getting them before they were on telly, weren't we?
Yeah, but by then we were secretly taping them off of Sky One from next door. Because Sky One got it earlier than what the BBC got it. You had to wait years for it to come on the BBC. But if you had Sky, you could watch them sooner. I don't
remember that. I just remember from Kathy's Comics.
There was definitely something to it, though, Monty, because I remember us having a conversation saying, "Oh, we are so excited because we're going to watch the episode that is one that we've never watched before." Because I think even in the VHS releases, the first time round, it didn't sit in there, and then they added it or something. I don't know. I remember.
I must admit, the thing with the VHS is, I think that might have been a bit later on, more like sort of DS9 Voyager, when you were kind of
for sure.
Yeah.
That is the case. Yeah, I remember when we got
this early Voyager. On was when we were just sort of getting into it. I guess it was before you started buying them as soon as they were released.
I used to run home.
You got your job at British Aerospace, right?
Well, I used to run home from British Aerospace because before I had a car, I used to leave and they'd make you clock out dead on, like 5 o'clock, and TNG was on at 6, and I used to sprint home, grab my VHS tape, run in next door to our Ivor who lived next door, and use his video recorder to tape that episode, that night's episode of Star Trek.
That's funny.
Yeah. I had them all taped before I bought them all.
No.
Anyway, there we go.
I'm just going to give the answers and get everybody caught up with the scores.
Sorry.
No, it's
Mickey, you can make a
cup of tea. It's a good job you waited, because Karen's just answered.
There we go. Well done, Karen.
We all got it right.
Yay.
That's
Yay.
Some scores in the bag.
Yep. So what it means is that all of Stuart, Mickey, and Karen are now commander rank, and Monty and Maz jump up to admiral rank.
I don't think I've ever been an admiral before.
However, the points are very different. So in joint first place is Maz, Admiral Maz, Commander Mickey and Commander Karen. And then we have Admiral Monty on 200 points. All the guys in joint first place are on 225. And then we have Commander Stuplum on 125. Just to mention, if it ends with 2 people on the same points, like we have with Mickey, Karen, and Maz at the moment, it would be the person with the highest rank that would take home the trophy. So at this moment, the technical first place is going to Admiral Maz.
Yeah.
I still feel like, because I do all the research, I got all the notes in front of me, I've got an advantage, so I might just stop answering questions or sabotage myself at some point.
Yeah, I feel bad sometimes, but I want a bloody point.
Yeah, that's true. You haven't gotten the scoreboard yet, whereas I think I
got
have.
Point.
So,
I want a point. Yes, feel free to go make tea now. Karen,
you're going to have to hold up questions until Karen says she's back.
Mickey, you can go make tea.
Yeah,
it's okay. I'm just going to drone on for a little bit.
Thanks, Stuplum. He actually answered the question whilst having a pee.
Wow,
TMI, dude. TMI.
That's multitasking. And they say us men can't multitask, eh, Dad? Yeah. Okay, so we were talking about the Data being confused at why terrorism is actually effective. And Picard tells him that there's something mankind's been struggling throughout history, and his confusion is only human. In the underground caverns, the messenger delivers Riker's message to Finn.
Picture.
Finn's annoyed. Oh, picture. Hold on. Oh, I probably need to move it on a bit more from that, don't I? Yep, there's Riker interrogating the people with Devos. And we're probably about here, maybe. I think. I don't know. Yes. So the messenger's delivering Riker's message to Finn, and Finn's annoyed. The Federation is behind the apparent mass arrest, confirming that they are indeed siding with the Rutians, whatever. He says he won't release her no matter what. But Bev says that her son needs her. And Finn's like, he's not on the ship, is he? And she's like, yes. And he's like, oh, that's a shame. So...
yeah, he does it in that very camp way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a shame, isn't it?
Oh, it's a shame. Yeah. Yes. So as they have joined forces with his enemy, he's going to destroy the Federation flagship and that way get the Starfleet's attention. They are the ones supplying the medical supplies and mass arresting people. He had a son once that died in a detention center. So he's pretty damn determined. Back on the ship, the terrorists start appearing all over the place. So they go to red alert. Some appear in engineering. They fire at people, and Geordi does a really good dive behind console. They attach a bomb to the warp core and then dimension shift out of there. Geordi reports in and Picard preps emergency evac with saucer separation. Geordi, though, puts his comm badge on it and gets the transporter room to transport it into space. Troy's a bit worried at the time. He goes, transport my signal into space, because he thinks the transporter room's just transported Geordi out into the middle of vacuum. But no, it's just the bomb, which explodes off the Enterprise's port side. And then Finn and his fellow terrorists appear on the bridge. He shoots the helm and navigation consoles, so Picard punches him square in the face. Worf shoots the lady, and the lady shoots Worf, but they eventually make their escape, taking Picard with them. On the planet, Beverly's happy to see her captain.
Sounds like a romance novel. Lady shoots Worf, Worf shoots lady.
Yeah, it's probably a Klingon mating ritual.
Yeah, that's it. It's a good job. Scarpa had already been probably proposing to her.
There they are. There's a guy being shot in engineering. Please don't. Shouldn't really use energy weapons around the warp core. That's Picard leaping on top, or maybe not Picard.
So you're right. Where is the dark blue carpet?
Yeah, no dark blue carpet there. That's the light blue carpet, same as last episode.
I think the Trivs was wrong.
I was confused at that one.
I gotta say, this scene on the bridge, I mean, it was just like cringingly bad, right? It just was this scene where they materialized on the bridge. I just found it like cringingly badly orchestrated in terms of effects and acting, and it was just like this real sort of, I mean, Andrew was saying he found this episode kind of anticlimactic, and like this to me would have been, this is like the bridge fight scene, like the captain being taken. It should have been a big thing, but it was like they appeared and then Data's just sat there, doesn't do anything, and then they fire on his console. He still doesn't really react. Meanwhile, the guy next to him is going, and like actually reacting to things before they happen, which looks absolutely awful. And then Picard jumps on this guy. Like, where the hell is Data? Like, Data's supposed to have like super quick reflexes, supposed to be super strong. And he comes in to help like 5 minutes later after Picard's disappeared. And it just all for me worked really, really badly.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, if like whatever editing person or producer was like, yeah, I think that's a wrap. I think we've really got it. Like, that's a really good scene. Like, they should have just been, taken out.
Data kind of runs in at the end, doesn't he? And he's like,
yeah, well, they're already
as
they, it's like, what was he doing the rest
disappeared?
of the time? Just sat there, like, watching. I mean, oh God, it was the worst scene in this whole episode, I think.
So, if I can read between the lines, what you're trying to say is you didn't like this scene?
Sorry,
I don't think she liked
too
it.
Impassioned? It was just an opportunity to be like, wow, yeah, I mean, they wrote this whole episode because they wanted more like action and stuff. And then, the most actiony scene where, to be fair, it was great that you've got like Picard kicking ass. I mean, we all want to see that, right?
I do like it where he just punches the guy square in the face.
Yeah, I mean, that aspect of it was brilliant, but the rest of it just didn't really. And even Deanna just kind of runs straight past Picard to the prone wharf, but I mean, not that but you would think that she would go to the person closest or the person who was still struggling with somebody rather than somebody who's out cold. But I don't know, it was all just a bit weird to me. And Data's complete lack of reaction being the worst of all.
That was the end of Act 3. So do we have is there a question now, or do we move on?
Let's see.
You caught G asleep. He doesn't know what's going on.
Does he?
I can do a point booster question, and this is boosting everybody's points by 200 TNG points.
Holy
Wow.
crap.
This is a bit mad for you.
There's no multiple choice.
Mickey says Karen's just at home picturing herself there underneath Picard. That is probably true. That is a very good point, Mickey.
and that would give a different explanation to the electric that's coming off. Ooh,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sparks will fly between Kaz and Picard.
Actually, we should do a bit of Photoshop and actually put her into there for next week.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Booster question then. In a discussion with Picard, Data gives several examples where history has shown that terrorism can achieve results. Most noted, he refers to the Irish reunification of 2024. But name one of the two other conflicts he cites. All you have to do is name one. No multiple choice.
So this might be an opportune time to actually say, and I'm not in any way saying that this has any effect on the question, but they were originally intending to make parallels to this around the American Revolution and such like, but they were told to change the analogy, and the writers and directors and things, they weren't really happy about that. But yeah, I think it sort of caused more issues. But she was saying she wanted Picard as well, she says as Cornwallis, and the Romulans would have been the French. So I mean, Romulans apparently were originally part of the story, but it all got changed quite significantly. So which eventually ended up obviously causing a lot of issues anyway around the whole controversy around this episode. So yeah.
Andrew finds he's attracted to Picard, even though he's straight. I think we all are, Andrew. To be fair, we all are.
Okay, so just for Karen, in a discussion with Picard, Data gives several examples where history has shown that terrorism can achieve result. Most noted, he refers to the Irish reunification of 2024, but name one of the two other conflicts he cites.
Right, I'm putting one in chat. I'm dropping a big fat one in chat.
He's dropping a fat one. That's TMI.
And if you drop it, nobody else can use it. It's fastest on the buzzer.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Right, there we go. That's
well,
one.
Stuplum said one and then retracted it, and then said the same thing that Stuplum said.
Yeah, Stuplum did say that a moment ago.
Well, Andrew, we were saying like Mickey's Irish, and he was saying that they are talking about it at the moment. Apparently, like the politicians are talking about it. So you never know. Maybe that will become true.
You never know.
Anyway, you can continue if you like.
Can I?
You can.
Radio.
We'll let
you. I will. Okay, we're on to Act 4. Nearly there. Not far. On the bridge, Devos and Riker have beamed up. Troy reports the Worf is recovering in sick bay. 3 are dead and 4 are injured. But Geordi is like, at least we are not dust cloud orbiting Rutia 4. Which is a good point. Riker is perplexed as he only asked to talk to Devos. Riker's perplexed because he only asked to talk to them. And Devos is like, now you see what I'm talking about. You know, he's like, let's talk. And so they replied by trying to blow up his ship. Which says the next time they use the jump, will pinpoint their power source. On the planet, Dev is worried for her son, but Picard says he's fine. And anyway, it was Wes that figured out the whole dimensional jump thing. Bev apologizes for not beaming up initially at the beginning of the crisis. But Picard is like, I should have ordered you to. And Bev's like, you would not have dared. And he's like, I would have. And they argue about it for a little bit. Beverly confirms there are no exits out of the cave. And despite everything, Crusher tries to point out to Picard that Finn has his reasons for doing what he is doing. And Picard's like, you're arguing for the guy who tried to kill your son. Which is a pretty good point.
Munchausen syndrome, what?
Yes, she's displaying a bit of that, isn't she? I probably need to move the pictures.
That's the wrong one, isn't it? Yeah. Munchausen. Is that right? No, that's...
Yeah, no, that is right.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's where, people start developing relationships with their captors.
That's right, yeah. I know that there was another word for, what do you call it, when you think you've always got something wrong with you. I thought I'd got that confused then, but yeah, no, that's fine.
Oh yeah, Finn enters and says he failed to kill her son, Beverly. He says Beverly because Beverly would never tell him her name. And Picard's kind of giving it away. Picard tells him he's made a mistake attacking the Enterprise as he's now ensured Starfleet's involvement. But Finn's like, yeah, that's what I want. He doesn't want Federation on cowering in the sidelines. And because, that's Rich accusing us of cowardice when you plant bombs from the shadows. Yeah, he wants to get the Federation involved to use them to convince the government to make concessions. He wants another party at the negotiation tables. Finn transports the Enterprise again and randomly meets Troy in the corridor, lays out his terms. He wants an embargo, trade sanctions levied against the Rutia, and for Starfleet to establish a blockade around the planet. And this will continue until Rutia's government and the Asatans start talks mediated by a Federation Council. He then leaves before being apprehended. Do you want to say the answers to the last question, G?
I thought so. Illness and fake illness. That's what I was thinking. Munchausen, isn't that more like hypochondria?
Was it?
Stockholm syndrome, that's the one.
Stockholm.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
I thought I had it wrong. I thought I had it wrong. Yeah. Thank you,
I thought
Smiler.
it sounded right, or it sounded
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's
familiar.
the wrong one, isn't it? I thought it was. Thank you, Smiler, for looking.
Stockholm Syndrome. That's the one.
Stockholm. I would say
Yeah.
it's quite clear before you do any answers or whatever. We set up the up front about the complicated rules that you've got. I would say we have become bamboozled because now you've
Nobody
got
knows.
like Stu Plum put an answer and then deleted it and then put an answer later. And Mickey was saying he didn't want to put an answer and give away the answer. And then you got G-Star saying, yeah, but it was first answer first. You can't have any repeats and everybody's repeated the same answer. So I would say that sufficiently people are a bit confused about the rules.
No,
I think predicted it.
I think everybody understands what's going on. I just wanted to clarify because everybody was saying about that worrying about their typos when actually their worry didn't really matter because Monty was first in there with technically it was the independence of Mexico from Spain, the War of Independence, and then it was the Kenzie Rebellion. And I said it was fastest on the buzzer, so those two got the points.
Woohoo! I got points. I'm going for the win this week, baby.
Monty and Mickey. So Mickey's jumped.
But what I'm saying is Stu Plum put Kenzie and then he deleted it and then he put it again. So he actually put that before and then deleted it. And Mickey said he was holding off saying anything because he didn't want to give it away to other people. So I'm not sure if people did realise it was fastest on the buzzer. But anyway.
It's fine. So it's me and Mickey. That's the important thing.
Stu Plum, you got enough points this season already, right?
Yeah, Stu Plum's got plenty of points already. Right. Well done, Mickey and me. Yes.
Tough question, that one.
It was. I didn't know, to be fair.
Where was I?
And also, as part of the whole invasion thing, I don't know if you mentioned this as part of your narrative, but Picard did say, stand by for saucer sep, which I thought was quite interesting because we were saying in a couple of episodes ago that they really don't do the sauce separation much, which they don't, but the fact that they even considered it here, like there have been other times when we're like, wouldn't you just like do a saucer sep? So at least they considered it here as a tactic, so that was good.
Yep, that was good. Unknown to Finn is transporting onto the Enterprise is what Wesley was waiting for, and he tracks the signal back to the base. It's located on the southern tip of the main landmass, some 30 meters below the surface. As this means all the light must be artificial, Davos says shutting down the power would cause confusion. Worf offers to go on the away team, fresh out of sickbay, and Riker hands the bridge over to Data. And that is the end of Act 4.
Awesome.
Dum, dum.
Is there another question time now?
There's another question time.
I thought there might be.
And it's a demotion question. And so there's no confusion. I will just explain. It's not fastest on the buzzer. You could take your time to answer, but you can only answer once. And as a demotion question, you're going to lose 2 ranks. If you get this wrong, you'll be demoted 2 ranks and you'll be demoted 50 TNG points.
Oh, no.
So the demotion questions are getting worse. So when the Enterprise crew discover the whereabouts of the Ansata underground base, how many meters under the surface is it? A, 30, B, 60, or C, 90? When the Enterprise crew discover the whereabouts of the Ansata underground base, how many meters under the surface is it? A, 30, B, 60, or C, 90?
I'll tell you one thing, Monty.
Wow.
One thing he's not doing with his questions, which we've gone about before, which is great that he's not doing it, is D, none of the above.
I can't stand the none of the above.
We don't like the none of the above option.
They confuse my brain.
Yeah.
So anyway, we can continue for a bit, can't we, while people answer?
I better get my thing in. There we go.
Get your thing in.
Itchy nose. Okay, so we're actually on to Act 5, the final act. We're there, baby. We've made it. So, shush, Chewie.
I can hear him with his squeaky toy.
He's got a squeaky toy.
Cuteness.
Shush. In the cavern, Bev's still treating the dying. Finn tells her he might have to kill Picard. He reckons that if Picard and he were reversed, Picard would have done the same thing. But Beverly's like, I don't think so. She asks him, is fear the only weapon he has? And Finn replies, no, it's not the only one, but it's a good one. Bev tells him that she's scared. Bev tells him what scares her the most is if he won, he might actually get some real power. And Finn's like, well, I don't want you to be scared of me, so here's a sketchbook I've made of you. With some beautiful sketches of Beverly, which Smiler Rainbow thought made her look like... I can't remember who said now. Who the sketches look like.
Twiggy.
I don't know. The Barbara Streisand. She thought the sketch looked like Barbara Streisand. There you go. If anybody out there knows who Barbara Streisand is.
Kaz wants to see Chewie. He's not quite at the show the puppy on a screen sort of size anymore, but...
he's around here somewhere. He has been sat at my feet for most of this, but I can't get the camera down there to show you. Where was I? Oh yeah, sketchbook. The away team of Riker, Worf, and routine security beam down and start incapacitating the guards. Bev visits Picard, and he asks her if she has gained Finn's confidence. She shows him the sketchbook, and he's like, "Oh, you've done more than gain his confidence. We could use this to our advantage." And she sits down next to him and says, "There's some things I've got to tell you, as it looks like this might be the end." And just then the power goes out, plunges them all into darkness. Worf and Riker punch their way through the terrorists, and Devos stops Finn by shooting him in the back. Oh yeah, stops Finn shooting Picard by shooting him in the back. And she says, as a prisoner, he would have been a focal point for violence, but now he is a martyr. But there might be some less killing in the short term, so, win's a win. Yeah, a young boy approaches with a gun, but Beverly says to him, "No more killing." So he puts the gun down. Riker thinks that one boy putting the gun down may be the start of progress. Back on the Enterprise, Beverly hugs her son. Wes is glad to see both her and Picard back. Picard orders Wesley to take them out, but as mum and son continue to hug and that, and he's like, well, at your earliest convenience. And so eventually they finish off, and Wes takes the con and takes the Enterprise on its merry way. End of episode.
Dun, dun, dun. Were we up to speed with pictures?
No?
Probably not.
Oh, probably not. No. Sorry.
Let's visually just see that ending.
That's them in the thing. That's
it's Wesley with his silver badge.
They're about to go down to the
Silver
planet.
badge.
Our silver badge, yes. That's the... Oh, there you go. Barbara Streisand.
Yeah, I do see it a little bit. Barbara Streisand.
Yes. Oh, for Karen. Karen, are you there?
Oh, look at the chew plum.
Choo-choos.
Chew plum?
A biscuit there if you want to give him a biscuit.
Hey.
Biscuit just out of reach.
Right, where?
I just called him a chew plum because of stew plum. That could work though.
There you go, Choo-Plum. There you go, Choo-choos. There you go.
Very big.
There you go. There you go, my buddy.
I hope Karen's watching.
Yeah.
If you're not, you're going to have to rewind.
There's your Chewy update.
The Smiler's like, oh, it's so heavy.
Ah, Karen says she was watching.
Oh, that's good. There we go. Yeah, there's the sketch of her. That's him going to shoot Picard. There's whatever she's called.
Alexana.
What's she called?
Alexana.
No.
There she is.
What?
Alexana.
No, that's like both Mark's kids.
That's my kids' names.
Yeah, her name is Alexnan.
Is it?
Yeah.
ANN.
Yeah.
Check on Memory Alpha.
Well, I will.
Alexana Cerise or something?
Oh, maybe. Okay. Anyway, that's her shooting Finn in the back and killing him. And that's it.
Oh, it is Alex Anna. You're right.
Devos.
Can't believe I didn't notice that.
Well, that's what we used to call the... when Anna was a fetus inside Smiler Rainbow's tummy, we didn't know whether it was going to be a boy or a girl. So that's what we called it, because we didn't know whether it was going to be an Alex or an Anna.
Oh.
So that was Anna's first name. Yeah. There you go. And tonight's Klingon word of the day. Because we haven't had it yet. And because this focused on the abduction of our doctor, Beverly Crusher, today's word is doctor. So if you ever need medical advice and you happen to be on Kronos, you can ask for a Kel. Q-E-L. Kel. And that is Klingon for doctor.
Kel Crusher.
Kel Crusher.
Kel Crusher.
Yep. There you go.
To avoid losing the points, Maz, can I have an answer for the last question from yourself?
Nope.
She's losing points.
Okay.
She's going to lose those points. Proudly so. So what was the answer?
The answer, everybody got it right. Nobody got demotion except for Maz.
Oh.
So basically we are on. We have a standout leader, but in reverse order, we have Commander Stu Plum on 125 points. Commander Karen on 225 points. Commander Mazamet Bob on 175 points. Admiral Monty on 400 points. And Commander Mickey Early on 425 points.
That little 25 points got him the win.
I haven't finished yet.
Oh, finished.
No. Yeah,
I've still got two questions.
Over, you know.
We've still got two
it?
questions. Well, I finished the narration.
Yeah, we're all done, G. So, you know.
Go on then. What's our final questions then?
Quick fire round.
Quick fire round. Okay, so this is a point booster. So this is worth 300 points. No multiple choice. And Finn beams aboard the Enterprise to demand they make a blockade of Rutia. How long does he give them to make a decision? That's just a 300 points bonus. So it's a toughie. Because it could be...
To answer Mickey's question, did the Ansata all have grey streaks in their hair because they used the inverter? No, they all had grey streaks in their hair. The Ansatas and the...
well, it's technically the Rutians.
The Ratatouilleans.
Well, because I was looking at that, but I only saw the guys with the streaks. Like the women didn't seem to. But then I wasn't sure if I was only looking at the guys that were, you know, the rebels rather than.
Oh, that's a good point, actually.
Because like when they're in the plaza, I was like, he's got one, she hasn't. I didn't know if it was a male female thing. But now I'm thinking maybe the women's weren't ones that had gone through that process. But
no, you're right. It's just all the men have it. Yes, I'm just looking back over pictures. Yes, it's all the men.
Yeah, so
there you go.
I started answering it there in chat, but then I finished answering it verbally. But they may not have been the ones that had gone through the, whatever you call it, phase shifting devicey thing. Yeah,
it would become pretty obvious in their society who was terrorists and who weren't if it
that's
give them a
true.
grey streak.
That's a good point. Yeah,
but even all the security guys, the Ratatouille security guards, they all had the grey streak in their hair as well. So yeah,
Ratatouille.
So happy to close down the last question.
Sorry, what was the question?
I said happy to close down the last question. So
I missed the question. What was it?
Well, there you go.
Too late, you missed it.
Oh, Smiler put it in the...
Finn beams and gives them how long is the ultimatum?
Oh, I'm going to say...
You can read everybody else's comments before you say.
Too late. I've closed the question.
8 hours. I don't... okay, you closed the question.
Monteban says 8 hours.
8 hours. I just plucked a figure out of the air. I have no idea.
I hear the pitter-patter of tiny feet.
Yeah, he's come back in the room again.
No, I meant in my house.
Oh, your tiny feet. So what was the answer then, G?
The answer was 12 hours.
Oh, it was. Oh,
Well done,
yeah.
Mickey.
And there's another question, is there?
Yep, one more. And then we're
And
all
it's
done.
fastest on buzzer again, is it?
Karen's... Oh.
This is fastest on buzzer. You can only answer once. You can't do multiple answers. So it really is the person who gets in the answer first. It's a bit of a weird question. This one is worth 500 TNG points, so we'll decide the winner. What is the connection between the producer of this episode and the theme of this episode? What is the connection between the producer of this episode and the theme of this episode?
Oh, I know.
Oh no, Mickey's good. Monty's gonna take it all away from Mickey.
Answers in chat, Monty.
I mean, the obvious one would be he's Irish, but I don't know. I mean,
Oh, well,
I'm not going to
it might have
actually
been.
answer, but
Oh, no.
it could be a funny name thing. You never know.
I might have got that wrong.
What did you put?
I got no clue.
Oh, I thought you put. You did not put something.
I did. I put he was a terrorist.
I didn't see your answer.
Oh, did you not?
Hasn't come through.
Well, I think
Anyway.
Oh no, we're still waiting on Karen's put an answer in.
Oh, yeah.
Smiler.
Get on then.
Anyway. So in general, I'd say like the producers and that, you know, they all say they weren't particularly happy with this episode. Most of them from the fact that they all sort of said, well, it's like we wanted to do it about terrorism, but we're not really sure that we got any kind of message across. Like, what is it we were trying to say about it? Like, there was supposed to be some sort of moral to the story, and they felt like that wasn't really, you know, very sort of strongly spelled out, other than what could only possibly be drawn from it was Riker's line of maybe the end begins with one boy putting down his gun. But they didn't really feel like they explored the issue from a moral sort of standpoint, or actually had any kind of a message other than let's make it about terrorism, which wasn't a great place to start.
No. I suppose one thing that come from it is, you know, when talking about this type of subject matter, it's complicated. You know, it is ambiguous. It is sits in lots of grey areas and depends, you know, like the old saying, you know, one person's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter. It, you know, and a lot of the time the reasons behind these actions are, you know, deep in histories of, you know, generations gone by, and it's not easy to, you know, debate. So I think possibly that you know, that's why they ended up with the episode like it is, because, you know, at the time that's probably what they were kind of going for. But
and the other thing was that was just a sort of a general observation, was there wasn't really any secondary plot in this, and actually we haven't mentioned that for quite a few weeks. I think there's been quite a few other episodes. I know that it's something that you talk about, you know, the newer episodes, and how, you know, TNG always had a secondary plot, which a lot of them in the first sort of series or two did, but there have been quite a few episodes this series that were, you know, fairly well focused on the main theme and didn't have that secondary subplot. I feel like probably some of the later series get back to that a little bit more, but I think it has been a little bit lacking almost sort of takes away a bit from the character of what we're seeing, not having those subplots.
Well, it's just because you don't get to see those lighter moments with the crew and, some other things rather than the big themes. Because the big themes always tend to focus on one or two of the main characters, and it doesn't really get the breadth of characters involved, which is what you get when you have these things. But, yeah, no, I agree.
So we can get to the scoring of this episode. So start thinking about your scores, guys, and put them into the chat. Got to close down the last question. Because regardless of how that turned out, we still have.
I take it nobody got it right.
No. So I said it was a bit of a random question. It was quite random. Well, basically, the connection is that the producer of this episode is called. Let me put it in chat.
Bob.
No, wait. So coming up in chat now is the name of the producer of this episode.
Where?
Should be coming up in chat.
Oh, yeah. Right.
IRA.
Okay.
Told you it's random.
It's random.
Anyway.
So to go through how we finally finished, because some of the results kind of turned upside down. So in 5th place, we had Commander Mazam Bob on 175 TNG points. In 4th place, we had Admiral Monty on 400 TNG points. In 3rd place, we had Commander Stu Plum on 425 points. And then in 2nd place, we had Commander Karen on 525 TNG points. And in 1st place was Commander Mickey with 725 points.
Wow, congratulations.
So just goes to show you can end up on the higher rank, but not be the biggest point earner.
So, Mickey.
Mickey thought he was onto a winner with the question, but then he was looking at the co-producers.
Sorry, Mickey. Well, you still won, so nothing to cry about.
That puts Mickey on 2. That's Mickey's 2nd win of the season.
Is it? I didn't think he was on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think he won maybe last week.
Oh.
I think. Possibly. Or maybe the week before that. I don't know. Maybe Mickey can tell me, but...
that would make sense, but I'm pretty sure, we went like quite a few way through this series and without him on the scoreboard, which was a shocker after last year with the complete domination. Right then, I guess we need to think about our own scores.
Yeah, start putting the scores in chat.
Yes, scores for the episode. What do you think there is between 0 and 10? What do we reckon for this episode?
Obviously, 0 being the highest, 10 being the lowest.
I say Mickey says, I think it's a 2, no. But he's talking about his score, not the score for the episode.
Yeah, it is. It is 2. It is 2 for you, Mickey. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's well, you'll see it in a minute. It's Karen on 4, Stu Plum on 4, Mickey on 2, and Smiler Rainbow, Mazam Bob, and Al Pal all on 1.
Sorry, Mum.
Sorry, Andrew, you're yet to get off the board. Yes, you're down with me at the bottom. Maybe next week, though. There's always next week for you.
And you do know, G-Star, that when you're not guest starring, you can play with the quiz, right? You can answer the questions. You can get yourself on the scoreboard for the first time ever.
Could do.
That'd be exciting, right?
Yeah. Yes. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Okay, so what are we giving this episode? Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Look at that.
Pretty similar scores. Pretty low
similar.
Scores.
Yeah. I think it may deserve one more than a 5, to be honest.
But Mickey's gone in with a 7.
I just thought it was a bit meh.
I thought I was being generous giving it 4.
I felt like I was probably being a little bit harsh. I mean, You know, I think there were good elements to it. You know, there was obviously quite a few extras. There was a bit of action. You know, they had some fairly well worked on sets and things like that. But I just think there were just aspects of it that were kind of problematic. You know, I mean, I mentioned how much I thought they, you know, some of the bigger action scenes were really poorly executed.
Yeah.
And to me, like, I don't have any issues around the whole controversy thing. I'm not exactly sure how a theoretical statement about a future political thing kind of got it like banned like that, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, this was like one of Crusher's first ever big stories, and she spent most of the time just staring at a guy and refusing to speak. It was like, I felt like that whole thing could have been stronger, and then she was just like, oh, but he's so nice, really. It was like, I don't know. From my position as a woman, that whole female role thing was like, I felt like it was really poorly written. Even it was written by a woman and directed by a woman or something, but it's like, I think it was a poorly written female lead role, I felt, as well.
I mean, for her to like defend him and then Picard say, you know, you're defending the guy that just tried to murder your son.
Yeah.
Just seemed a bit crazy, you know,
even
from a Stockholm syndrome point of view.
It was bizarre.
Come on.
I do think this is a case of one where a lot of the blame sits with the director, because if the director's not good, there's a lot of things that go wrong. And I think also the acting was quite wooden by most involved. And like, I agree with Maz, what she was saying in terms of the action scenes. Again, there's multiple things that go wrong if the director's not on point, and I think it came down a lot to the director on this one. I don't think the reason why it was kept off of TV was just because of the theme of the episode. It was purely the mention that Data said.
Yeah, it was just that one sentence about reunification in 2024.
Because even when they released it again later down the line,
they dubbed it out. And I don't know how. It's not like he said anything directly about, you know, the state of politics now. He was saying a theoretical thing about a future thing that hadn't even happened. I don't get why. I just don't understand it.
It's because back in around this time this came out, it was 1989 was the time of the Troubles.
Yeah,
it was a time the IRA tried to assassinate Thatcher with the Brighton bombing, and it was just a very hot topic at the time.
And I get that, but even like it not being till 2007, and then even still not, you know, never being shown in Ireland, just feels like it's like a sci-fi series. Like, you say all sorts of theoretical things
I know,
about
it's crazy.
the future, and it just seems a bit, anyway.
No, the audience seemed to score it better than we did.
Yeah. It's fair enough. I think, you know, I think a 6, it definitely is justifiable. I'm with you. It was some of the strangeness of the decisions made that just tied it for me, like the action scenes, as you said. For example, like we mentioned the bridge one, but you know, in the engine room, you know, they attack the engine room and a couple of people get shot. Geordie does make a marvelous dive to behind the console, but then after he dives, he just kind of lifts his head up over the window and just sits there cowering, watching them place a bomb on the warp core.
Like, would you call for security, or say?
What would you call for security? Would you go hunt for a phaser?
The warp core, or, you know?
Yeah, do something. Just
erect
don't
force fields around there.
He's like that over the window, like, oh no, they're placing a bomb on the warp core. He doesn't do anything until they've buggered off. So yeah, I thought that was.
I know this is going to sound harsh, but I just feel that this is one of those episodes that the franchise would have been better off if it hadn't been done. If it never existed.
Well, that's very harsh. But then you did give The Price a 2.
Yeah, I suppose so.
It's by far not the lowest thing you've scored, so you'd be wiping out quite a number of episodes. But no, it's not that bad.
The second
it's still
lowest of the season, and I think probably deserves to be there, to be fair.
Fair enough. You're going to ask me what's next week's episode, aren't you?
Yeah. Do you know? Are you
I
all
know.
prepped
I
like you
know.
were last
I'm
week?
all prepped. I'm all prepped.
Ooh, getting good.
Next week's episode is Deja Q.
Ooh.
We have got a Q episode coming up next week.
That's quite exciting.
It is.
Deja Q
exciting.
is listed by quite a few people as like their, in their top 5 episodes kind of thing. So high hopes.
And for those people that are interested, the synopsis for Deja Q is seeking asylum on the Enterprise after he's been thrown out of the Continuum and he's been stripped of his powers. The Q have had enough with him, so he's chosen the one place thinks he can find safety, and that is with the Enterprise with the Enterprise crew.
Classic.
Always, it's really interesting to hear from Mickey. We're like seeing all this stuff for the first time. I think do you already like Q the way that other people like Q, being that we've seen him all through the series? It's like he tends to be a bit of a fan favorite, but you've only seen him a couple of times so far. But yeah, I don't know if you're looking forward to it like we are, but I'm excited.
Yeah, Mickey's pointing out that he gave it an extra point. He was going to give it a 6, but he gave it an extra point because it did actually contain action.
It did.
For a TNG episode, it did
Yeah,
try to put
and they
some
were
action in
literally,
there.
that's one of the reasons they were like trying to generate a bit more action. That was one of the sort of purposes behind this story.
Yeah. No. He's not my least
favorite. So not that much of a fan.
That's high praise, Mickey.
Maybe he will grow on you over this season, or maybe
Maybe.
he just won't. To be fair, but yeah,
You gotta love him or hate him.
he's a bit of a character, that's for sure.
We're about to see him coming up in Picard season 2. A new trailer.
And
a new
like
trailer
a
has
fine
just
wine,
dropped.
though, like a fine wine. I mean, John Delancey used to look like he was a prosthetic, rubber-faced man, and I used to find him quite ugly. But you look at him now, and he's pretty hot. He's just gotten better and better looking with age. Sorry, please agree with me.
A little grey goatee helps everyone, I think, as you get older.
Maybe.
It's the way to go.
I'm halfway there.
Yeah, it's all right. G's still got the Just for Men going. No, I'm joking.
I haven't used that in years.
You say maybe without the powers he will be better. That's true. He is a bit of an arrogant prick, but in general. But yeah, I think for me it was like seeing him on the showdowns in Deep Space Nine with Cisco, kind of just adds to his character and some of the stuff on Voyager. So I mean, Q's basically with Star Trek for all the different series. So yeah, I guess he does sort of become a bit of a staple for us die-hard enthusiasts.
Have you seen the second drop of the second trailer for Picard, the one that came out a couple of days ago?
Not.
G?
No.
Well, it's shown in that trailer that we've got the return of another Star Trek character.
I saw
Not
some
just
sort
Q.
of meme or something about the Borg Queen. Is that right?
7 of
The
9.
Borg Queen.
Is that right?
7 and
What are you
9.
talking about?
She's already been in it. 7
right.
and 9.
But she's coming back again.
She's back. Yeah, I think she's going to be a bigger character this season, actually. But the Borg Queen is up to her tricks of trying to maybe go back in time and assimilate the humans from the past. And to help Picard stop them this time, he enlists the help of Guinan.
Oh, amazing. Another fan favourite.
Yeah.
We haven't even had any of the real good sort of decent Guinan episodes yet, have we? That's something to look forward to as well. Majram, Supla,
Majram. Yes, so I have to say there was a number of elements in the new trailer that did get me a little excited. bless Smiler Rainbow, she was getting all very excited next to me, sort of like jumping up and down and clapping her hands because she was getting all excited. And I was like, yeah, I was excited for season 1 of Picard and ended up being disappointed. So I'm keeping it in check.
Cynical.
I'm keeping it buttoned down tight. But the second trailer did get me a little bit. It did get me a little bit excited. But yeah,
Maybe they'll take some of the feedback they've had and correct.
yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
Well, they already seem to have with like the franchises. I mean, Strange New Worlds, they seem to be taking in feedback and saying, well, we're going to go back to a slightly more lighthearted, less dark and depressing, more of a story by story, week by week, back to the old style, like what we love, what we're reviewing here today. So I don't know, maybe they do take some fan feedback.
Fingers crossed. Okay, so there we go. Deja Q next week. That was the high ground, not the higher ground, G, but the high ground. Thank you for joining us this week, G. It's been a pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for the myriad of questions.
Yeah, it'd be nice to do the question time again.
It's put us up to nearly 2 hours.
Sorry about that.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you to Mickey, our winner today, our champion, Karen, for her admiration of the shiny bald head. Thank you to Andrew for joining us from Facebook once again, and my lovely wrench, Smiler Rainbow. And Stuplum. Don't forget Stuplum. Join us next Wednesday at 8 o'clock for another TNG review show. Cheers.
Bye.
Oh, I should have put us on. There you go. I'll do it again.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. Dear.